is Exchange qualified to teach you how to do an Appreciative Inquiry Summit in any way that's different from some of the academic institutions that teach this or other training organizations? And you'll notice I'm not going to tell you that David's endorsement alone is the reason to hire us. In fact, delete that for a moment. I'm going to give you 4 reasons right now why our approach to Appreciative Inquiry Summits is quite different than just about anywhere else that I'm aware of in how they teach this work. So one of the things that makes our approach to this tool set unique is our awareness of how to customize the way that you use this tool. So for example, I told you about the 5I earlier. I want you to notice something about this. Now, I know this is a very busy slide. I'm sure I'm breaking any rules if there's rules about how to use slides. But one of the things you may notice is we have learned how to customize how you use the 5I. And I can tell you, because this has happened quite a few times for us, that one of the ways that we have won a lot of business when someone talks to us and then they talk to others who deliver Appreciative Inquiry Summits, even others who are very respected, is they notice that from the very first conversation, we are interested not in forcing a group to go through one process because that's easier for us, but we're interested in shaping the process to fit their situation. And by the way, the more a solution feels like it's being customized for the client, the more they are willing to pay. Just something to keep in mind. So customization is something that we actually teach. And I got to be candid, this is not an entry-level conversation. This is not low-stakes stuff. When you're talking to a team about shaping their future, there's a lot at stake here, right? So in a minute, I'm going to talk about who our training is for, but also who it's not. And for some of you, if there's a part of you that is genuinely not sure that you're comfortable holding the responsibility of the future of a team or a division or an organization, that could be a reason to say, hey, maybe now's not the right time to lean into or learn into this type of tool set. So the second thing that we have been told by many of you and many others that makes our approach to Appreciative Inquiry Summits unique is, we've been told this by you, our students, and also our clients, is that we know we have a deep, deep knowledge of how to get the room to buy into the process. And we call this enrollment. You could call it buy-in. And if this serves any of you as just a learningful comment, I'm going to say it as a playful comment. One of the lessons that I've learned as somebody who comes into an organization to facilitate this type of work, where I'm viewed as this external consultant, is how do we just get right to the point? Nobody wants you there. Nobody wants you there. Nobody wants you there. Now, some of you are laughing, some of you are afraid. It tells me who has experience. They don't want you there. They don't want somebody telling them what to do. The beautiful thing about Appreciative Inquiry is how quickly you get to let them know they're going to tell each other what to do. You're just there with the questions, right? So that's the cool thing. But I just want to give a heads up that people are stressed. They're skeptical. Nobody wants another meeting. A whole day? Oh my gosh. They don't want another 1-hour meeting. So if you do not know how to enroll a room in the process that you're using, in their belief in themselves to use that process effectively, in you as the one leading them, you don't really get past step 1, and that can become a problem. That is one of the things our clients have told us is the reason they'll pay us whatever we ask for, and they ask us to come back again and again, because they've never had somebody lead an Appreciative Inquiry Summit who knows how to get the room to be in it, to be with them, okay? That is something that we teach. You got to have the room with you. The process doesn't matter unless people are bought in. Years ago, we were hired to teach Appreciative Inquiry to BMW. And these photos are from work that we were doing with all of their Scrum Masters who lead all of the engineers of the autonomous driving division. And I'll always remember, I was there for, I think, 11 days. And on the 10th or 11th day, I was having dinner at the home of the guy that brought us over there. And I said, you got to tell me, like, why did you hire us? It's always a question that you're supposed to ask, right? Like, why did you hire us? Just why? Because they're BMW and they could hire anybody. And I happen to know that they had interviewed like very prestigious people. Like we were a nobody at that time. Like, why didn't you hire the people from MIT or Case or all these very prestigious places with all these credentials? They said, oh, Jon, we talked to everybody about appreciative inquiry. They said there was literally nobody even in the same camp as you all when it came to how much precision you all used when it came to how you actually design and use this technology. And I will tell you right now, from years of refinement in real world delivery, the amount of precision that we use in this tool set, it's hard to overstate. For those of you that are going to be with us in June, Laura, you know this, you used to set up the room with us. From which type of Sharpie pen to how many pens to how many inches apart the chairs should be, to when the light should be dimmed, to what music to use, to when to pivot, to how to manage report outs when something is not going expected to plan, to how to design a different plan when something changes in the organization. There's precision answers to all of these, and you cannot get that precision without experience. So that is something we're very proud of, is the precision we have on everything from how we design the time and the space and how we move through it. The second to last thing that makes our training unique is our community. I don't know if you can all see the pictures here, but on the top left-hand side, you'll actually see we brought 21 facilitators from our community, that's like many of you, to help co-lead an event. The picture in the middle here, I think we had 12 or 13 of you that we actually were able to bring into the room to co-facilitate at that Clark Appreciative Inquiry Summit. So the value of community is, if any of you want to play bigger, but you're worried because you're like, I don't have a team of co-facilitators. Well, if you are a part of our training, by default, it makes you a part of our community. You can have 15 co-facilitators in an instant. And you can have 15 co-facilitators that we trained. And if you're wondering, when you're selling this kind of work to somebody where it's important, and you can tell them, I can bring in a team of co-facilitators, you can add 10, 20, 30% to your fee. It's incredible what becomes possible when you have a community that you can lean on to help you. And those of you who are coming through our training, we are going to give you a template, a playbook on exactly how to recruit, filter, train, and work with your co-facilitators. And we're giving you the co-facilitators because they'll be in the room with you. So this alone is probably the thing that many of you are already jazzed by, is knowing that you can really play bigger. The last one here is our ability to make money and show you how to make money with this. I don't know if you can even see it on the screen because the way I'm using the slides is kind of funky. But a 2.5-day summit, $85,000, $100,000, $90,000. I'm not here for math. What is that? 43 plus 16, $59,000, $250,000 for a 3-day summit, $63,000 for a 2-day summit. Here's the bottom line. The economics of this work are quite a bit different than, hey, I'm going to sell my coaching or a keynote speech. You know, if you sell coaching or keynote speaking, you can really only charge so much. Unless you're famous or have some once-in-a-generation talent, you can only charge so much, because as soon as you say, I do this, you're put in a box, right? Like, just to make my point, if you write a book, I don't care what's in the book. How much is someone going to pay for a book? It doesn't matter what's in it. That container is $20, right? When you are going from, hey, I'll give a speech, to I will facilitate your team coming up with a strategy, you add a 0 or 2 to your fee. literally, right? Because you're not there to entertain or educate or pass along some ideas, even if you're world renowned at it. You're there to fundamentally change the future of the organization. You can add a zero. You can multiply what you charge by 3, 5, 10x if you know how to sell it and how to deliver it. You don't want to sell it if you don't know how to deliver it. But that's kind of cool, right? And that's my keyboard. All right. Who is this training for? For those of you who are experienced and you're like, I'm sick of listening to Jon about this. I need to be doing this on my own. For those of you that feel called to play bigger, for those of you that want to help organizations to solve problems, create strategy, planning, visioning, stuff like that. And if you're comfortable with the idea of looking someone in the eye, keeping a straight face and saying, this is a $30,000 solution, $50,000 solution, right? I don't say that jokingly. That's a real thing. Like that's what you're walking into. Okay, our training includes a live direct experience with me. So in June, I'm actually leading an Appreciative Inquiry Summit. Now that you could be confused, but what do you mean? Who for? Well, everybody who's attending, the majority are students of ours or members of our community. And we're actually using the 3 days to go through the 5I to actually design the future of our community, to design the future of our company. Yeah, the task will actually be designing the future of our company because it's the thing that everybody in the room has some common frame of reference. I'll be leading that summit. So you're not going to show up in a room where I talk about what does a summit look. We're actually doing it. And you're going to see because it's our turf, we get to do all the best of what works. You're also going to see how we use artificial intelligence, the other AI, in real time to tap into your collective human intelligence and just accelerate how fast we can create shared solutions, shared answers to meaningful questions. You're also going to be handed agendas, workbooks, proposals, contracts from all of our biggest clients, just to give you kind of a compression of 10 plus years, kind of in an instant. You get access to all of that intellectual property. The other thing is we also have 2 special guests. One of them is Julie Ryder. So I told you all about Clark. Clark is the global leader in Appreciative Inquiry Summits. Julie is the internal person who oversaw all of their summits, worked very closely with me and Steve and our team for years. She is attending our summit as both an attendee and to teach you as we move through the summit, lessons learned from doing this inside a company. The #1 company in the world at doing AI summits, the person who oversaw them, she will be in the room all 3 days. And Julie's awesome, and she's amazing at karaoke. So on the final night, you'll have fun with Julie. You're also going to get my direct coaching on how to sell Appreciative Inquiry Summits. So that teaching on how to sell, not just design and deliver, based on what the client needs. For some of you, that's going to be really meaningful. Okay, June 24th to the 26th, Cleveland, Ohio. It's on the campus at Case Western Reserve. Most of you already know this. If you are one of our certified guides, which means you've gone to the moon and back on a learning journey with us, you know who you are. The admission fee to this is somewhere between $6,500 or $7,500, depending on how you pay. If you are here not as a graduate of our guide certification, you can't sign up without talking to somebody on our admissions team. Because they need to make sure that you have either gone through a certain amount of training with us to where you'd qualify, or you'd be required to get access to our guide certification as well. The price is a little more for you, but the bottom line is if you've gone through our guide certification, it's between $6,500 and $7,500. If you haven't, you need to chat with someone on our admissions team because we need to make sure we have the right people in the room. Here's the deal. There's a bunch of you who, if you're, part of our community, there's links in the chat. Yeah. If you want to schedule to talk to someone on our admissions team, by the way, even if you don't have any interest in coming to our training, but you just want to talk to some really nice people, our admissions team are incredible. I'm looking at Natalie. I'm looking at Tucker. I don't see who else is here. If you just want to talk to somebody incredible who can tell you about this work, feel free to schedule a call with them. They are all students of this work. And so it can be a very meaningful, learningful conversation whether or not you're really, interested. I tried to make it clear who this is for you to be thinking about. Special guest teachers in June. Julie is one. Can I get a drum roll for who the other is? I think there's like 3 of you who know this. Y'all want to unmute for a drum roll? You got to unmute. I need a drum roll. I'm serious. It's Friday afternoon. Give me a drum roll. Okay, that was really good, Stephanie. I think that was you. Yeah. So the other guest teacher is the one and only advisor, mentor to David Cooperrider. He was his PhD advisor, Ron Fry. He is going to be with us in June. Actually, I have a call with Ron, I think, in just a few minutes here. And Ron's going to be with us. And I can just tell you, Ron's been a guest at a number of our events over the years, but to get to be in the room with Julie and Ron at the same time and to learn from these pioneers, if I would have known, if I was in your shoes years ago, how meaningful that is. Well, I did. I paid $110,000 to learn from Ron at Case to get an executive MBA. But for you all, this is a fraction of that. So anyways, we have some special guest teachers, great people, and that's it. And yeah, I'll bring my keyboard. Okay. Let me take a look here. If there's any questions I did not answer.